He who is only an athlete is too crude, too vulgar, too much a savage. He who is a scholar only is too soft, too effeminate. The ideal citizen is the scholar-athlete, the man of thoughts and the man of action. Plato. Something that seems to be most fundamental in most philosophy, or the idea of individuation or self-actualization, is this basic but complicated idea of bringing duality together, bringing polarity together, bringing opposites together to create and formulate something authentic, something truly powerful and worthwhile in all possible ways. For example, we see this in the basic explanation of Plato's athlete-scholar, as he calls it. He understood and recognized that there are two innate energies in man and woman or humanity. The feminine and masculine are these two fundamental energies that are innate, and how they both orientate around a set of characteristics and expressions. The feminine is very much brooding, contemplative, a sort of ocean dweller, if you will, that feels out all these different tremors in the sea and in the ocean of life. Whereby the masculine force is very action-based, direct, disciplined, and focused towards a specific intent and desire. It maintains boundaries and is the force behind movements or disobedience to preserve freedoms, you could say. Now, this is what Plato was pointing out. The scholar is very feminine, and the athlete is very masculine. But for there to be something of an ideal citizen, as he says, a perfectly orientated character, you need to in some way integrate both energies, both this masculine and feminine energy within everyone, to create what he called the ideal citizen. And this was to integrate both opposites into the soul, or to create a complete soul for oneself. Now, there has been other ways in which this has been explained. For example, Jung was all about integrating the animus or the anima and the opposite energies, or to integrate the shadow as one of his most famous pieces of psychological analysis. But he understood and pointed out that there is actually a psychological law or psychological rule that plays out, which all fundamentally depends on how you actually orientate your psyche, your mentality. He says that, quote, when an inner situation is not made conscious, it happens outside as fate. The individual remains undivided and does not become conscious of his or her inner opposite. The world perforce act out the conflict and be torn into opposing halves. End quote. Now, why is this such an important observation? When you don't integrate the opposites, when you don't, for example, realize the feminine and masculine, or form the authentic scholar, as Plato would call it, of oneself, let's say, your rejection of that specific opposite will make itself known as fate externally. The rejection will become alive in the real external world and maybe even play havoc on you and your life via an external force of the opposite of which you have not made conscious within yourself. If you enjoyed this video and you feel like it resonated with you on a level of magnitude, and you feel like procrastination is also something that you are dealing with, and you're always following and falling down a convenient path that is always easier and never actually good for you, and you want to break the cycles of procrastination that you're constantly in, and you want to stop giving yourself away to these easy, simple pleasures that don't fulfill you, and you want to work on developing your own decentralized freedom when it comes to building good habits for yourself, then sign up for a free consultation call down below with me, and we can talk about the methods and the techniques that you will need to know so that you can develop those aspects of yourself to reach a greater, higher potential. So with that said, make sure to click on the link in the description below, and I look forward to talking to you very soon.